This is called a contingency map. We use these types of things with students who are very visual learners and who are engaging in some problem behavior that we can write out for them so that they can see the correct path. Does this always work? No. Does this sometimes work? Yeah, it does. Like I said, especially for those kids who do understand a lot of language and visually can see how it makes other people feel. So the contingency map starts out with a situation, and here's, if I do this the quote-unquote correct way, I don't typically say correct way to the student. If they choose the green path, then something positive happens. If they choose the red path, then something negative happens. So let me show you a scenario. So for instance, a situation in class occurs when, say, a kid in class is making funny noises and I want them to stop. So the situation would be that Johnny is noisy or making silly noises. So I'm going to be doing this contingency map with Tim, and I'm going to say, Tim, what's the situation? And Tim's going to say, I don't like it when Johnny is too noisy. And I say, okay, so you don't like it when Johnny is too noisy, and you know what? When Johnny was too noisy yesterday in class, the teacher told me that you hit him. Is that true? Yeah, I did. I wanted him to stop. Okay, great. You hit him. How do you think that makes Johnny feel? Well, it makes him feel really sad, or it makes him feel really upset. You're right, it does. It makes people feel sad or upset. They might also feel angry at you because you hit them. And then what typically happens if you hit Johnny? Well, Johnny stops. Okay, sure, Johnny stops. But what else happens? Johnny hits back. Teacher gives me a timeout. So I'm going through this repertoire. I'm not dictating this to my student. Like I said, the student typically has some more language. He's also telling me this stuff. Great. So this is what happens when you hit him. Johnny feels really sad and angry, and Johnny hits back, or maybe, you get in trouble by the teacher. What kinds of things could you do instead that may make the solution a little bit better? So I understand you really want Johnny to stop making noises. What can we do instead? Well, here's some things. What do you think? And this would be a dialogue back and forth, and we would get to the point where he might say, I might say to Johnny, please stop. I don't like it. Or tell the teacher, or walk away. And if I did that, how would it make other people feel? Well, you know what? The teacher would probably feel really proud of me. Johnny would go, huh? He'd be probably a little bit annoyed, but he wouldn't be upset or he wouldn't be angry at me. The teacher would be proud, and some of my other students would be happy because I didn't interrupt them. And you know what? Johnny would stop, and I bet Johnny may even get in trouble, which is awesome because it's him getting in trouble and not me. So again, going through this with a student, then what I would do is take this visual and I would post it somewhere so that the student can see that. I would also do a role play with this because talking about a situation isn't enough for generalization to occur. We need to role play this a few times as well and provide feedback.